As a parent, the NICU can feel very overwhelming and intimidating. But since you are the most important person in your baby's life, it's essential to take an active role in your baby's care. This video is part 1 of feeding your baby in the NICU, and it will cover colostrum, fortifier, TPN and NG tubes, NNS, and skin to skin. So together, let's get started navigating how to feed your preterm baby in the NICU. Feeding a preterm baby is a journey with different stages and many challenges. But there's a consensus. The mother's breast milk is the best food for your child's health and development, and there are many reasons for that.
We used to just think it was food, but it's so much more than that. It has what we call bioactives, so molecules that are made by the parents specific for their baby, and it's everything from probiotics to help with digestion, things like lactoferrin that help prevent infection, immunoglobulins that are basically the first immunization that your baby gets to protect from diseases.
The journey of feeding your baby starts within a couple hours of birth. Getting a coating of colostrum into your baby's mouth is enough to provide incredible benefits to your baby. It's not really nutrition for the baby, but more like their first immunization. It lines the gut and prevents early infections that we can see potentially in all babies, but especially in premature babies. Colostrum is priceless and even looks like liquid gold. Your nurse will coat the baby's mouth with colostrum, which is the first milk the mother produces after delivery. It's called oral immune therapy. Even a few drops of the liquid gold will protect your child.
So when babies are born extremely preterm, often, especially the first couple days, they're not able to take any feeds into the stomach or very small feeds. Babies born this early won't be able to coordinate, suck, swallow, and breathe. That's not something you can do until at least about 32 weeks, plus you have to be off respiratory or breathing help.
In the beginning, your baby will receive very small amounts of milk because their digestive system is not ready yet. The quantities will increase little by little as your baby shows they can tolerate it. Since a preterm baby won't be able to coordinate suck, swallow, and breathe at the breast, they're initially fed with an NG tube. It's a little tube that goes into their nose or mouth and directly into the stomach. They can also receive intravenous fluids called TPN to help with their nutrition.
And this is because in the last trimester of pregnancy, a lot of really important substances are passed from mom to baby, especially things like calcium to make the bones strong and phosphorus to make the bones strong, and things like iron to help build blood. And so when you're born early, you don't get those substances through the mom's uterus, so we have to give them.
Pumping helps to stimulate the breasts to produce the milk your baby needs. As the days and weeks pass, you will slowly be able to increase the amount you can feed them, and eventually they'll be strong enough to have full feeds directly from the breast. Even though breast milk is the near perfect food for your preemie, you will still need to use a fortifier to ensure that your baby is getting enough things like calcium and iron. As your baby gets more stable, it's time to help them learn how to eat by mouth. The first step is to get them used to being at the breast.
That starts with Kangaroo Care or skin to skin, which can happen really early on. And as the baby gets a little older, they can start to do what's called non-nutritive sucking. And that's really just getting the baby to an empty breast, so pumping first and then doing Kangaroo Care with the baby at breast. And they might lick or take a little latch or just kind of hang out at the breast, but it gets them used to the feel and the smell and the sight of mom's breast, and gets them ready for the next stage, which is actually starting to latch at breast, which can happen as early as 31 or 32 weeks sometimes, but usually is when the baby is a bit more mature.
Thanks for watching part 1 of feeding your baby in the NICU. In part 2, we'll cover the wonders of breast milk and commonly asked pumping and breast milk questions by parents like you. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Take breaks, eat right, and reach out. Support is all around you. You are not alone.